Hey, everybody. I am here with one of our ministry leaders for our new spiritual growth coaches meeting, Marie. Marie, you want to say hi to everybody? And I'm
Hello,
also here
everyone.
with Ann and Esther, who are one of the first participant matchups to go through spiritual growth coaches when we test piloted it last year. And we said, hey, we're going to try this. We're going to try matching up somebody who wants to grow spiritually, looking to take some next steps, with someone who's been around our church and has taken these next steps. And so we matched up Ann and Esther, and they met for 6 weeks, something like that, went through purpose-driven life. I think they probably met a little bit more because they had such a good time. And both came to us and just said, hey, we got so much out of this. So I'd like you just to hear from them for a couple minutes here as you're considering people that you know that might want to be coaches, and maybe even people that might want to jump in as a participant in this. So the first question here for you is, what were you looking for when you signed up for this? So for Esther, for you, it was as someone being coached, and for you, it's someone who was coaching somebody else. So Esther, what were you looking for when you signed up?
Well, a few years ago, I read the Purpose-Driven Life on my own, and like many other people, I was, truly blessed and was able to grow closer in my walk with Christ. But when I heard that the church was offering this experience of reading this book, only this time with a spiritual coach, I knew I had to sign up. And because like Pastor Rick has said so many times, that we weren't meant to do life alone, and especially in the middle of the pandemic, when the sense of loneliness was felt by so many, including myself, it was the perfect time to sign up for an experience like this. And I am so grateful and thankful to God that I did.
Good. Yeah. And we'll hear more about that experience in just a minute. But for you, Ann, as a coach, what were you looking for or expecting?
Well, first of all, I was willing to accept the invitation to serve. I'm on the small groups team, and I really believe in what we do and believe in coming alongside other people and working through our faith and our relationships and sharing God. So I felt the opportunity to walk alongside another woman who was fairly new to our church. It was right up my alley. And I have a heart for women, and it's just a natural thing for me to be able to do. It wasn't anything that I considered to be difficult or hard. It was just a blessing. And I've gained a lifelong friend, someone I can walk alongside, someone who lifts me up, someone who I lift up. Our families have spent time together. It's just been a real blessing. We both have the potential to go deeper in the purpose-driven life simply by doing it together, by discussing our personal stories, our heartaches, and our blessings. And the readings every week brought personal conversations. We did spend considerably more time than 6 weeks, but we enjoyed every minute.
Oh, that's so good to hear. Yeah. Love hearing that. That means it was a good thing. So Esther, so talk about what did you get out of the experience? Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I mean, besides meeting an incredible woman of faith like Ann, and like she said, a lifelong friend, I think for me, making a new Christian friend who was there to listen and not to judge or criticize me was just wonderful. And Ann was able to, as my spiritual coach, was able to give insight and shed light on scripture verses that maybe didn't make sense to me, or maybe I didn't quite understand this chapter. It was really quite helpful, and especially having someone to pray with during a very difficult time in my family's life. You could not have come at a more perfect time. And I think I also, reading this book again and talking to someone like Ann, who is a is so involved in the church and runs her own small group, I was encouraged to start praying about that possibility of starting my own small group, which I have. I'm grateful we started in January. So we started a mom's group that meets on Tuesday mornings, and there are now 3 of us. So I think this experience also challenged me to, step out of my comfort zone and do something that I've, thought about doing, but never really put into action. So yeah, great experience.
Wonderful. Yeah. So cool to hear that. And how about you as a coach? What did you get out of this experience?
Well, we were able to trust each other with our life stories.
Mm.
And as the weekly readings brought different things out every single week. And we felt safe with each other. And we did talk about in the beginning how everything would be kept within our own conversations. And we trusted each other. We shared our deep faith. We shared our struggles. We shared our heartaches. We were vulnerable with each other, but we trusted, and we were really blessed by that. We volunteered together. Like me, Esther shares a heart for women and for single moms and for their children. And we've volunteered together in this area and plan on continuing to do that twice a year, every year ahead of us, as long as she's still living in this area. We volunteered just in caring for other people, especially with the hearts of women and children. And as a CL, I'm very proud to say that Esther did start her own small group. And that was something that I didn't push on her in any way. It was just something that was a course of her studying and reading in our conversations. And I feel very blessed by that. And she also, on her own, became an SK teacher. So she is totally cool as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
She's really, really a great example.
It's been wonderful to serve. Yeah.
Can I just say a couple things here? Because when we went to match people for this program, I didn't know Esther. I've known Anne for a long time. I know Anne's heart. I know what Anne loves and how she serves, but I didn't know Esther. And to hear the connections that I really think God made here, that the 2 of you share a lot in common, the sizes of your families and your heart for women and your heart for service, is just so amazing. And it just really shows that God's hand was on this match to bring the 2 of you together.
Absolutely.
And the other observation, Kyle, is we've talked about how this program could be sort of a bridge between folks that are coming into the church. They take class 101 or maybe 201, and we often say a next step might be a small group, but that might be intimidating. And to really be able to come alongside someone in their faith journey and understand the purposes a little deeper, and then take that step of either joining or amazingly starting a small group out of this program is really one of what we had hoped for, what we were praying for would happen in this ministry. And so it just is so awesome to see that that has really come to fruition with both of you together.
Yeah, I agree, Marie. And I know the match was not accidental. You asked for God's direction and inspiration when matching, and I think we saw that more often than not. All right, so Esther, so what would you say to someone? They're thinking about signing up for this. They're thinking about going through what you did, and for some reason there's some fear or hesitation, or I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if I'm up for this. What would you say to that person?
I would highly recommend it. I would say just do it. Purpose number 2 in the book is you were formed for God's family. And it's just so important to remember that we need each other in our lives. And no matter what season you're going through in your life, you need other people by your side. And, we were made for community. One of the verses in I think it was day 18, the verses to remember is Galatians 6:2. It says, share each other's troubles and problems, and in this way, obey the law of Christ. And let me just tell you that there is freedom in sharing your troubles and problems with someone that you can trust, with another believer who's there to, like I said, listen to you, to cry with you, to pray with you. I experienced joy through this. I experienced freedom, and it was wonderful. And yeah, I hope that others will do the same, and not be afraid. Just, God is good, and his timing is perfect. And I really hope that other people get to experience this too.
Well, if joy and freedom are some of the outcomes, then it just seems like really worth pushing past some of those hesitations for people who are considering that. Well, Anne, what about for you as a coach? I've talked to a couple people actually this week that, we kind of tapped them on the shoulder. Hey, I think it's time for you to be a coach. And they're like, I don't know. Is that me? Do I have anything to teach? And do I have anything to share? I don't know if, and I'm just going, no, it is. And you do have what it takes, and you just got to let God use you. So yeah, what would you say someone thinking about coaching?
First of all, I'd say it's a great opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, and at the same time, really enhance your own life. I believe that you'll have a deeper understanding of the purpose-driven life. I know going through it week by week and discussing, sometimes phrase by phrase, is a big difference than just sitting down and reading it by yourself, or not reading it in a group. But one-on-one, I would say, is the best way to go. If you can make the time for it and commit to it, it's a wonderful thing. And at the same time, you'll be blessing our church and blessing your own families, as well as our entire church family. And we're all here to help each other. So I say go for it. And I just suggest you give it to God in prayer, and then see where he takes you.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride.
That's a good word. Go for it. And I'll tell you, the stories that we heard coming out of this first round just made us go, okay, God's in this. He's doing something. The fruit's there. Gosh, and our whole church could benefit from this. So we're taking a big risk to launch this church-wide, but we just trust that God's in this. And as we continue to match up this next round, that miracles, that, this healing, the care that's happened is going to continue to happen. So I'm looking forward to it. If you know of someone who's thinking about becoming a coach, let's get them the training. If you know someone who would benefit from this, let's get them signed up. It's going to be a huge emphasis for the next few months. It's not going away. And so it's a great time to jump in. Anything else, Marie?
No, I just think that we've seen it in their lives. I've seen it in the lives of other participants. And for our church, such a great, awesome next step for people in their faith, and to continue to grow our church, and to continue to, Esther, you said it so eloquently. We're meant to belong. We're wired to belong. And for people who just aren't sure, and as Anne talked about, one-on-one is such a different experience than in a large group. And so this one-on-one connection is, I think, what so many people are searching for and needing, especially after the isolation of COVID, to sort of come out of all of this and think about, where do I go in the future? So I couldn't be more excited that there's other people in our church who, maybe 6-8 months from now are going to be on a call with us sharing this same experience. And so thank you both for saying yes. Thank you both for, not only believing in this process, but just being open to where God is taking you in this journey. So thank you both.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes. Thank you for putting this together.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's a wrap. We'll see y'all soon.
Thank you.
Bye.